Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Hot Wheels Ultimate Racing. So we're going to talk a little bit about what happened after the conclusion of the last race. So I just didn't want to start talking about the stuff and trail off and confuse myself or anything like that last episode while I was still interpreting what happened. But things happen essentially as I was thinking they happened. As they happened last episode, to put it one way. Not that matters much to... Whoops. You. Are there only 2 volcano tracks? Wait. Huh. Anyways, let's see how fast So Fast is. Takes some time to get going. Oh man, we finally got to see some of these older cars again. We saw Burn just now. And Danny. I'm not here to see the old slow guys. I want to see the new racers. I also want to see how fast this car can get. Yes, so what did happen? Man, you might be wondering. So you might have noticed a couple things that are odd. Maybe you just noticed them for a moment, or something seemed like it didn't quite line up or something. But the Vulture crosses the finish line. Oh. The Vulture crosses the finish line. Everybody comes to a stop after everyone's finished up, all the rankings have been established. The results out from Chicken Randstorm and whoever else is behind the production of this special edition of Racing on the Stunt Jet Challenge tracks. Oh, I got an email. Reasonably fast car. I've used faster though. Well, have I used faster? I probably haven't. I left everyone in the dust, but also they were earlier cars I was using just now. Or I was going against just now. The Organics cheer as they crowd around the Vulture. And then door opens up and out steps something we haven't seen before, a new sight. Well, it's probably not the best way of wording it, in fact. Stepping out might be a bit of a misnomer for what goes on here. What we in fact see, I'll play a stunt mill, I guess. Just somewhere different for fun. And what we see is, well, what we first hear, let's say that. We hear a few unexpected sounds, a few strange, distorted sounds, and we see some flashing lights. In fact, we don't quite see anything step out, because there's nothing to step out. And what we see inside is nothing but circuitry and hardware of various sorts. What? We'll play as Twin Mill later. Everybody else continues, come up to the finish line and all that. The crowd continues to be excited, if confused now. And then we see the door of the other Vulture open up. And out steps the familiar Eastern European visage of Alex Wojciechowski. And we learned that Alex always likened to not having an obsession with being a little strange and unexpected and spontaneous. Had in fact put together a little arrangement. See, Alex knew that there was going to be some pressure between different members of each team. We saw, of course, what Gearhead had to put up with. Attacks from all sides, from essentially everyone. Not even just the opposing drivers, but especially the opposing drivers. We saw how it affected their driving. And Alex said, I'm a man of my word and honor, and what I say is, you and I, little clone of mine, of me, that is, let's say not a word to anybody else. Let's take each other's places. We won't race for each other's teams, of course. But I take all the pressure, all the heat you would normally take. I put up with all the extra pressure and every sort of... the word's escaping me. Let's just stop trying to think of that but word. Let's just say hatred. Vitriol, probably, is probably the word I'm trying to think of. I'll deal with that, and you'll get all the benefit of being a respected racer such as myself. And thus, nobody takes it particularly hard on Alex. Or rather, the one that they thought was Alex. The Alex clone, the robot. And instead, what we see is aggression towards the apparent robotic Alex that should have been destroyed long ago, prior to even confronting, or rather, not prior to, immediately after having confronted Grease Lightning. You might also have noticed that the robotic Alex joined in on that fun, striking at the actual Alex and their repainted Vulture. You might have noticed as well, primarily because I've told you, that their creation of Alex's Vulture was a little imperfect and a little rushed, considering it wasn't even quite symmetrical. The back end of the car is noticeably uneven, amusingly. So what happened then? Well, oh hey, I never saw that boulder rolling down on that side. It's kind of cool. Alex still managed to keep up just fine, but it was in fact the robotic Alex that managed to stay ahead of everyone else, the longest and the furthest, and won the final set races in the tournament. Of course, that doesn't mean the robots won on the whole, but the scores have been tipped a little bit. So let's now actually play as... Where are you? It takes so long to get through this game's menus as a whole, even just selecting cars. Give me a grid or something to choose from. I want to see what kind of cars we get on each track too. I'm not sure what kinds of cars the game usually gives you where. I know how it determines that, or if it's just totally random. So Alex, even being attacked by everyone else, with one exception, had not managed to not falter. Of course, the second last race being, or third last race? I don't remember, being the exception. Facing aggression from everyone else. Alex had in fact agreed that, whatever the case may be, in their attempt to make things a little bit more fair. Oh, this was the car I was going to say was so fast, because wait, no. What am I talking about? Jeez. I forgot I just even said that. Anyways, I did say this car was going to be so fast at one point, actually, seeing it from the back, but it's not so fast, so whatever. By the way, who was he? I wasn't paying attention to which cars were here. Alex had in fact given his word that if the robotic Alex could win while posing as the real Alex, the Alex at least would consider it and accept it as legitimate. And who would anybody else be to argue with Alex's honor? And thus we find Robotic Alex to have won that last tournament. There were a couple little hints too at that Alex being the real Alex aside from... take that. Aside from... what was it? The poor paint job and the issue of being overly aggressive, as Alex is not normally. And also, I suppose, putting a bit more emphasis than one normally would on... Alex normally would on speed, for that matter. But no. There was also... you might have noticed that Shree's still attacking Alex. Or rather, the Robotic Alex, it turned out to be. They saw that something was up. Robots seem to have earned the ire of pretty much all things inorganic. Particularly Gearhead, but not only. There's so much reason to keep on this particular track. I'm not sure there is. Same thing for that matter, I suppose, from the giant angry ape, but the ape seems like they're angry at everyone anyways. Oh, wrong place. Not here. So where does that leave us now? Where do you want to go? Let's actually go back to Metropolis, because there's Slight being there. It seems like an appropriate place for Otto's guy to be. I want to see how much speed this thing has and how little control it has. I like the flame on the back of this thing. Oh, it has other flames that come from elsewhere. It's interesting. This thing immediately flies past everyone. Jeez. So it does happen. Well, for one, there are probably some ill feelings towards... my god, how do I speed up like that so fast? This car's insane. There are always some ill feelings on some from the human side towards robots. Particularly the Robotic Alex for that. Not necessarily Alex himself, because again, who can argue with Alex? Oh. Alright, pile up. Oh jeez. And judging by what's happening now, actually, from that pile up, we might be seeing a little bit of some excessive aggression, actually, from Otto's top guy, now I think about it. Whoa! Okay, well, that was a dramatic ending there. So one that ended in a pile-up for everybody. It's interesting how everybody managed to get caught in a pile-up. This car can go faster than that. What's happening here? This car can go a lot faster than that. This thing is up to speed so fast, though, it's insane. I like how he had a big crowd of everyone chasing after, and this car can even outspeed that thing. Wow. Kind of everyone going after the Robotic Alex just now. Guess we started a riot or something. The only one that could actually break out of it ahead was Otto's worker in their super tuned car, courtesy of the likes of Rigger Motor, I guess. Which just served them very well in their real competitor in the tournament. But them having been the one deal to actually be able to catch up to Robotic Alex might have also played a role in the fact that we just saw them hit an explosive barrel and then we haven't seen them again. That was unexpected, actually. I don't think I've ever seen... I didn't know that the AI would hit those explosive things. So it's kind of funny how that worked out. That chase. So, you might remember though, Otto not being the best guy in a lot of ways, as far as we can tell. Having sent out his henchmen to do dirty work for him, or at least work that would usually be dirty for him, someone who's used to doing dirty work for Otto. You might also not be so surprised to hear that whatever everybody else said, Otto had given some explicit permission for how do I get a higher speed than what I got here? I'm not sure how to do that. For Otto's goon to do as his goons tend to do and rough opponents up a little bit, and they might have just overdone that. I think they might have gotten a little carried away, because we never saw them again after we heard that explosion behind us just now. So, where does that leave us now? Well, one, we're probably not going to invite Otto's guy back to any races. Ever. Whatever the case is, whatever this whole robot, human, or non-robot thing is. I think they've shown some poor sportsmanship and very thuggish behavior. Having probably at least injured another racer. With that aside. So, what are the standings after this tournament? Drifting Ryan Storm and those working on the show have added up all the scores, tallied them all up, all the human and all the robot racers alike, and all that. And after the amazing display, or rather unexpected display you might say, of the robotic Alex in the final tournament, I think we're about breaking even. Because that was absolutely unopposed, those last couple races, despite Gearhead having had a harder time immediately prior to that. So what now? Do we have a winner? I think we need to simplify things a little bit further. You, of course, had nice pure clean racing here in the final tournament. But how about instead we do something a little bit different? How about we limit ourselves? Instead of all these mini racers and potential bad actors, such as Otto's guy, who, you might add, did some things that would probably disqualify them from their position in the tournament anyways, as good as it was. And then potentially the aggression as well from the Alex robot towards the end as well, and potentially the aggression from everyone against Gearhead too. I think we need to take out some of the variables. Only the best, only the most honorable among these racers should really be those who decide what happens now, and who is the best of the racers. One would think. As this is being a bit of a train wreck in its own right. So that's what we'll do next. We will select the best, only the very best, of the few racers on each side that are still yet to be tainted by certain conduct unbecoming of them. And you'll have the definitive final showdown between each of them. We'll see how that breaks up, how those get organized, who shows up, who gets chosen, and how the races and any other events turn out next time, the next series, in the, what I now promise you will be the final series of the story. What game will that be? Well, it's a suitably chosen game, I think, in certain capacities. If you don't know what it is, well, you'll find out soon enough. That having all been said, that'll be it for this episode. This game, Ultimate Racing, I think I'll do one last run through of who all the different characters are, just to admire everyone's involvement. Especially because next time, the next game, we're going to have a lot fewer of these guys. Things are going to be a little bit different. But here we have Burn. We have what was that, Rigger Motor or Track Team? Rigger Motor. Metacog. Danny. Not Danny. Slide Out. I actually don't think I ever ended up putting anyone on this one, which bugs me a little bit. I took somebody off it, and then I kind of accidentally took Patricia, whatever her name was, off of it. Patricia, whatever her name was, and then they were putting it back on this car. That bugs me. Drifting around Storm. Race Cam. Track T. Danny. Grease Lightning. Slingshot's Companion. 16 Angels. Swoopy Doo. Bert. Slingshot. Gearhead. Alex's robotic doppelganger, or, well, whatever's left of them now. We'll see what happens. We'll see if they bother showing up, or if they can show up next time. If they even make the cut anyways. So fast. Twin Mill. Otto's best of the best of goons. Now probably barred from racing for life. They were already an outlaw anyway, so they probably don't care. Governor. What did I say her name was just now? Alexa, whatever her name is. Hypermite, who never appeared as an opponent. Muscletone, being as flashy, but this time not quite the center of attention regardless, because of all the other stuff going on of great consequence. XD3. And the real Alex, sporting a new paint job and disguise in Alex's secretive fashion. Yes, is there anybody else we can put on this just to say that we've named every car in this game? On Slider. I admit nothing occurs to me immediately, which bugs me a lot. But you might have to leave it that way. That's unfortunate, but we've already gone over time by 10 minutes for this episode anyways, and I have other stuff to do today. So I'll see you guys in the next game. Race to listen once and for all. Actually, once and for all. No more fake outs like this one. Look, man, I had to keep the games going somehow. But I assure you, I'll at least tell you I didn't come up with the fake Alex swaparoo thing after the event, after the outcome of that tournament. I was thinking of that during the races at the tournament with Alex, because I was thinking it was a little weird how that car's rear end did not look quite right, and how that tree inexplicably was still quite unhappy with the driver there. So I assure you this wasn't a fully sudden cop-out. I'm a little concerned that some might feel that it was that way, and I apologize if so. But no more of that. Next time will be the definitive one, the last one. Bye everyone.